Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdul Khalik. Dear friends, life we are living is full of difficulties, challenges, problems, troubles, this and that. So much of it and so much of that. So that is how the life is. That is why somebody has much earlier said that the life is not a bed of roses. Indeed, the life is not a bed of roses at all. That is very much true. Life is not a bed of roses at all. This is very much true. But, my dear friends and fellows, how to face, how to manage, how to overcome these problems, these troubles, and these challenges should be our project, and we need to think, we need to ponder upon how can we do that. Also, it is really important that whatever we want to do, wherever we want to go, regardless of whether we want to overcome the challenges, the difficulties, the troubles, and the problems in the life, or whatever we want to do, we need the resources. So, resources, financial and otherwise, all of these resources are really, really important, and nobody can afford to deny the importance of it. All the people who have succeeded, they have relied on their resources. But resources like the financial resources, like our influence and power and popularity and our network, all of that is the important, but still there is something else which has not yet been mentioned, and that is also very, very important. Very, very important indeed, my dear friends. By the way, what is that? That is something which is called the willpower. That is something, willpower is important, and willpower mean that we can rely upon ourselves, that we are confident enough, that we are strong enough, we do have the ability to fight, and all of that is important. Still, there is another thing that is called the mindset. What is this mindset, by the way? The mindset is a combination of several things. One of that, those several things, is called the willpower. So it is the willpower which is also there in the mindset, and certain other things as well. Certain other things are important as well. The right sort of attitude, the right sort of attitudes are very important. Dear friends and fellows, we are going to talk about upon this very important subject, and that is whether my personality is a weak one or a strong one, and how to make it strong. So this is going to be the topic of our today's discussion, my dear friends and fellows. Like every discussion, like every debate here on this channel, I have included a very useful, a very beneficial article on the subject, and this very useful and beneficial article is called, has been captioned as six signs of a weak mindset. Six signs of a weak mindset. Mindset is important. And why the mindset is important? Because it is a combination of the willpower, and it is plus several other good attitudes. So all of these things combined will develop a mindset. If at all we have the right sort of mindset, I think it is very important. A good willpower, a strong willpower is important, but a strong mindset is even more important, because willpower is a part of it, and it is combined with certain other many other items as well. Now let's look upon what are those six signs of a weak mindset, because our caption of the article is six signs of a weak mindset. Let's look upon all of those six weak mindset, so that we are able to overcome. First of all, we need to identify if at all we are having any of those six attitudes, and if at all there is one, so we need to eradicate it. We need to replace it with the trait and with the sign of a strong mindset. The first thing is you give up easily when faced with When faced with challenges, you give up easily. When faced with challenges, that is that is a sign number one that you have got a weak personality. If at all the personality is weak, we will never be able to overcome the difficulties, the problems and the troubles in the life. So first of all, we need to know what are the signs of the weak mindset. Then we should be doing everything else we can to eradicate, to conquer all that. Now let's go toward the second sign of a weak mindset. This is you avoid taking risks. You avoid taking risks and trying new things. You avoid taking risks and trying new things. We don't have to avoid the taking of risk. We don't have to avoid, we don't have to try, we don't have to be afraid of trying the new thing. Although all of that needs preparation, all of these need calculation. Otherwise it's not good. It's not good to take risk at all. If at all the risk is a considerable one, we should not be taking the risk at all, my dear friends and fellows. And the third is you have a constant need for approval from others. You have a constant need for approval from others. That is also the sign of a weak mindset. This person does not rely upon oneself, upon one's own opinion. So it is really bad. What we need to do is that we should be relying upon ourselves up to an extent. A feedback from the other people, that is good and necessary, but I think that we are, if at all we become dependent upon the approval of the other people, this will not be a good sign at all. So the fourth is you let your emotions override logic and reason. I think that emotions are important. Emotions are important indeed, but as for the logic and the reason is concerned, that is much more important. So instead of opting for the emotion to decide, to take decisions upon our behalf, it is really important that if at all we are employing the reason and the logic, because this is much more important than the emotion. This is much more reliable than the emotion, because the logic and the reason does remain the same. And but if at all somebody is relying upon the emotion, the emotions keep fluctuating. Now the fifth is you dwell in the past and have regrets. Dwelling in the past and having regrets. I think that it is okay to look back in retrospection, and it's important to learn from our previous mistake. But still, dwelling on the past, that is really bad. We should not be doing that at all. We need to learn. We need to learn in the moment. As far learning from our past experiences are concerned, that is really important, but nothing beyond that at all what is needed, all what is important is that we need to live in the present. And now the sixth and the last is you focus on your weaknesses than your strength. You focus on your weaknesses. Look, everybody is having certain items in their life, certain facilities, capabilities, and resources in their life, and the same person will not be having certain other resources, certain other important points in the life. Now there are people who are seen focused upon what they don't have. So what does happen out of this attitude? They become they fail to I think that they fail to plan well, because they always feel they are deprived. They always think that they should have been possessing much more than what they are having. So this attitude, this feeling that I don't have enough, I think it is not good at all. It keeps us disempowered. We don't have to keep ourselves disempowered at all. I think let's have a very quick revision of this very useful and beneficial article. Six signs of a weak mindset. First of all, you give up easily when faced with challenges. I think that's really bad. We need to stick to that. Although we need to think well, although we need to prepare well, although we need to calculate well, although we need to be flexible, but still it is better to develop the perseverance. And the second is you avoid taking risks and trying new things. I think that we need to take risk, although a very calculated one, but we do need to take risk. and we should be trying the new things as well. It will make us discover new and important ways of doing something else. Now the number 3 is you have a constant need for approval from others. It is good to have the feedback from the other people, but being dependent upon the approval of the other people, this is also a very strong sign of a weak mindset. We don't have to develop a weak mindset at all. Now the number 4 is you let emotions override logic and reason. I think emotions are important, but do not allow them to override to override the reason and the logic and the argument. Now the number 5 is you dwell in the past and have regrets. Everybody have done certain mistakes. Everybody 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 has done certain mistakes. Everybody has taken certain wrong decisions, but it does not mean that we should be having lots of regrets about the past. I think that we should not be regretting about the past at all. We need to learn certain important lesson. We need to learn certain important lesson from our past, and that's all. We don't need to I think that we don't need to live in the past at all, because in this way our present will be spoiled as well. We don't have to spoil our present. Rather, we need to focus. We need to pay maximum attention to our past, to our present. If at all our present is good, we will be very happy, and then our past will become good as well, because whatever is today, it will become yesterday. So in that way, if at all we are focused upon making our today as good one, then not only our today, our present will become a good one, rather our past, our yesterdays will also become a good one. So that was like this. Now the last point is you focus on your weaknesses than your strengths. So look, everybody have certain weaknesses, everybody have certain strengths. Now what is the winner mindset? What is the strong mindset? They focus upon their strength, and then they do everything else they can to take the maximum advantage, to take the maximum benefit out of their strength. And now look upon the failed people, look upon the unsuccessful and the unhappy people. What they people are seen doing, that they focus upon their weaknesses instead of focusing upon their strength. So this focus on the weaknesses, this I think does not allow them to utilize their strengths, their resources, their capabilities, their talents, and their potential in a better way. So that is something really, these are the 6 signs of a weak mindset. And let me assure you with all of my confidence that that is for these weak minds and mindset people are concerned. They don't succeed, they fail in the life, they live a miserable life. And if at all we don't want to live a miserable life at all, we want to live a good and a happy life. First of all, we need to develop a strong mindset. Thank you.